Hello, today we're going to discuss line following using OP3 that has a webcam attached to his head. I'm Gabriel Harbeson and I will be presenting this video to you. Overview. So we're given a simple task to have OP3 follow a line on the ground and successfully navigate the path. This includes a line following robot that will navigate a path by detecting and following the line using the webcam that we have attached to it. This video will combine a simple view of how robots move, steps taken to program OP3, and footage of the robot's performance closer to the end. Okay, so OP3's added components. We have added a webcam to his head that has been zip tied. The software we will be using is a Python script to give OP3 the ability to move and see using that webcam. And we're going to use Linux to use the existing programs that come with OP3. Okay, so webcam and line detection. So we're going to use the webcam to capture real footage of the line. OP3 will see this while he is moving. He is then going to convert to grayscale and apply a thresholding for the binary image. This will basically make a full black image with the line showing up as a white line. So he will only see any color that matches the line. And the software tool that we'll be using for this is the Python library that is called OpenCV. This library will help us use the webcam to then use the image processing so OP3 can see that line and only that line. Okay, robot motion control. We're going to use image data to determine the line's position relative to the robot. We're going to use a PID controller built into OP3 already that adjusts the motor speeds for smooth steering and keeps the robot centered on that line. The major challenge of this would be maintaining stability on sharp turns. You're going to program into OP3 a little algorithm that will keep him on the line, and if he's not on the line, he has to try to find the line by turning. So before we can get any deeper into how OP3 can follow the line, we must first know a little bit about basic kinematics. Kinematics is the study of motion without considering the forces that cause it. Mainly focuses on position, velocity, and acceleration. Forward kinematics determines the position of the robot's end effector based on given joint angles. Inverse kinematics calculates joint angles required to achieve the desired end effector position. An end effector is just a fancy word for a foot or an arm. It's basically anything a robot can touch or move to touch things. Some applications for kinematics would be, again, calculating the joint angles and end effector positions. And it also helps enable more accurate motion planning and path tracking, which we will use for this task. The zero moment point is you'll hear me say ZMP a couple times throughout this video. It just stands for zero moment point, which is a critical concept in robotics that ensures balance and stability. As you can see, there are two equations. There's XZMP and YZMP. I'll describe what each term is using XZMP for reference. So X is the position in the X domain. And then you have ZCOM. That stands for the height of the center of mass divided by G, which is the gravitational constant, which is 9.81 meters per second squared. And then you have this little weird X with two dots above it. That's just a fancy way of saying the double derivative of X, which in physics is acceleration. CMP will ensure stability by keeping the balance point or center of mass inside the support area, also known as the support polygon. If the ZMP exits the support polygon, you will have a failure in the robot as it will fall over. This is relevant for more complex robots such as bipedal walkers. OP3 has 2 legs and walks on them, so he would be classified for this. For this robot, stability depends on precise motor control and steady line tracking, so we will need ZMP to be within the support polygon. Here's just a basic plot that we'll go over. So, as you can see, XZMP and YZMP look incredibly different. XZMP looks more like a stair step, and YZMP looks more like a sine wave. However, if you looked at the actual ZMP of the robot while he is moving, you'll have so much noise and it will not look at this perfect. Programming the robot. We're going to use Visual Studio Code for coding and debugging. The language we will be using is Python, and we're going to use the OpenCV for the image processing. The operating system we are using is Linux because it has efficient hardware integration and is more powerful than Microsoft. Also, everything that we need for OP3 is in Linux, so we kind of need to use it. We're going to write the code, and then we're going to execute it on the robot to test the line detection and movement, as you will see later in this video. So some key challenges that can come up when you're trying to do this, and we actually encountered some of these. So line detection issues. You can have difficulty identifying the line due to lighting conditions or like reflections. So if the floor is like really white and you have like your blue line, it might reflect too much light, and then you won't be able to tell what color that is. Or confusion if the line's color blends in with the background. So if you have a blue line on a blue floor, you're not going to be able to see it. The robot might also struggle with processing images quickly enough to adjust its movement in real life. So one way you can counter this is making the pixels of the image smaller and adjusting the frames per second so it can process it faster and produce minimal lag in the image, which will help his movement while following the line. Challenges in interpreting intersections may also occur. Movement stability. If he turns too fast or stops all of a sudden, he has a risk of losing balance, which comes back to the ZMP. Okay, so some key takeaways from this video. We have OP3 offers an incredible platform to explore robotics concepts including kinematics, ZMP, and programming. Challenges like path ambiguity, where the lines aren't very clear or they're very curved, might happen. Lighting can also occur, as we talked about, and real-time processing can occur. Thanks for listening.